60, and gosh, am I aging like an old hag? I'm looking at this line I have around my neck, and it's Waddle City. It's getting really bad. I'm aging quick. But that's not why I'm doing this video. It's not to talk about how fast I'm aging and how close I am to the grave. It is about me just saying, what are you doing? What you up to? What's happening? What's going on? It's been a while since I've done live. It's very weird to go from doing live streams almost every night to hardly streaming at all. But I've actually been busy a lot of the time. First of all, I'm cooking like a fiend. Every meal home cooked by me. But yeah, well, no, I let Stephanie cook too. But yeah, cooking, working from home, being in these Twitter streets, catching up with the YouTubes. Like, I just have a lot going on. And also, K pop has been really slow lately, so there's not much to talk about in terms of, like, oh, this group did this comeback, and that group has done that comeback, and look at this weird stage. And it really hasn't been like that. Like, the biggest things to happen in K pop are probably Bang Bang Con and the one together, forget what the name of it, the concert with Super M, and then they're fixing to do like a pay-per-view type of deal through SM. So that's pretty much it. I don't even know who 2 is, so I can't say anything about 2's debut because I don't know who they are. Gravity had their debut. Forgettable. And, you know, be upset if you want to, say that I'm being ultra biased if you want to. Listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again for the ones who haven't heard me talk about it before. Produce was both the best and worst thing to ever happen to K-pop. It was the best thing to happen to K-pop because it made it really exciting and it made us feel like all of us were involved with the process of these idols coming to fruition, and we all felt like, oh, we've loved them forever and now we're seeing our faves debut. But the problem is that Produce made it seem like all you need to do is put pretty faces on top of a song or build a relationship with people and then just put them in a song, and you don't have to worry about whether the song is catchy, whether the song establishes a new flavor or a new kind of color for a group. It's all about notable people in a group rather than the essence of the group. And it's ruined K-pop in so many ways because now people, when a group debuts, it's not, oh, what's their song like? It's like, is there anybody in that group that I know? And I hate that. I hate that so much. When I met Shiny, I didn't know any of the people in Shiny. I heard the song appealed to my heart, and I got to know them from liking their music. And I think that is the way that everything needs to be. It shouldn't be about, oh, I like their personality, so I'm going to buy their music. Because are you listening to the music? Like, seriously? Are you actually buying these albums because you care about the B-sides? Or are you buying them because he was my favorite contestant on Produce and I'm so glad he finally got another release? Because I just don't have money to burn like that. I mean, we're in the midst of a pandemic. The economy is slow. Over 24 million people in the United States have filed for unemployment. Do you think I have money to throw away on a K-pop group that is giving me middling to nothing when it comes to what they're actually putting out on the table musically? No, ma'am, no, sir. I got money to pay my fucking car registration, which was really expensive. My car registration was $390, baby. So that's the reason why I say, like, I'm sorry. I wish them the best. I hope that things work out for them. But you really need to give me something. Like, even the video, I don't know if you've seen the video for Gravity's single. That video is gray. Like, it's even the color is like boring, man, and I just need more. I need more than guys doing this number, and I need more than body rolls, and I need more than, like, I need more than TikTok. I need more than fuckboy energy. I need more than emo energy. I need you to give me something real. I need you to give me something that if you go on tour in 10 years, God willing, you're still together, we're all gonna be like, oh shit, bitch, that's the song. That's the fucking song. Because I can do that with Shiny. I mean, it's not saying that Shiny is the gold standard, but I kind of am saying that. But like, more than 10 years later, when Replay plays, it is a fucking jam because vocally it's there, because harmonically it's there. So instead of giving us these throwaway things that are like, this is the trend right now, so we're putting out a song that uses Latin trap beats because that's what everybody's listening to right now. Instead of doing that, give me something that you are proud of. This has nothing to do with K-pop, but this is a prime example of why your music needs to last. A lot of people who are African American fans of music were probably invested in the Teddy Riley versus Babyface Instagram versus competition. And basically, Teddy Riley is a very famous music producer slash writer, songwriter, arranger. He produced "Call Me Baby" for EXO. If you don't know who it is, but yeah, Teddy Riley and Babyface, which Babyface is a world-renowned songwriter producer. He wrote hits for Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, like any of the R&B greats of the 90s and early 2000s. Babyface has worked with them, and probably some of your favorite rock people, because he did change the world for Eric Clapton. But they decided to play their hits, and the hits they were playing were well over 20 years old. Well over 20 years old. And when they came on, not only was I doing a jig in my kitchen listening to them, my daughter knew the songs. And not because I play them around the house all the time, but because they're standards, because they hold up, because 20 years later, they are still quality arrangements. And so it didn't matter about what was trending at the time, these songs still last. And I would love to see that for K-pop. And there are songs in K-pop that are like that. Don't get it twisted. Just because we listen to kind of the bubblegum parts of K-pop, there are a lot of independent songs, a lot of ballad songs. There's a lot of songs in the pantheon of Korean music that last like that. But I think all of us want our idols to have long careers. All of us want our idols to be able to be together and celebrate their 10-year and their 15-year anniversary, and to be able to look back on their catalog and be like, and these are the bops, these are the hits, these are the ones that I want my kids to know. And I feel like K-pop doesn't invest in that like they should. You know, I feel like the closest we've come to kind of the groups that have those kinds of discographies, you're looking at like Big Bang is one of those groups that you can go back possibly 15 years at some point and be like, oh yeah, there's some hits there. You can go back to Shiny 10 years and be like, yeah, there's some hits there. You can go back to anyone, their brief career, and be like, that still stands up. But it's very few of like the pop girls and guys that you can go back in K-pop and be like, that old stuff still slaps. Whereas the pop boys and girls of Western media, you can go back and be like, that shit still slaps. And I want better for K-pop. I want better for K-pop because this is also another way that K-pop is legitimized. It's another way of them showing the West that we're not just about emulating what you're doing. It's about the fact that we are making really quality content right here. We're making stuff that you listen to and you get inspired to replicate. And I just don't think that enough of that is happening. And also it makes me really frustrated because there are some really great songwriters and producers in Korea who are Korean, who want to write, who want to play music, who want to arrange, who want to produce. Like they're there. They're fucking there. You know, it's on the K hip hop side, it's on the K indie side, it's the pop girls. You know, there are people sitting in Korea right now who are ready to give you whatever it is you're looking for if you just give them a chance. But instead, SM, for example, would rather go to Sweden and Iceland to find their songwriters than go from home, especially because it makes so much more sense to get producers from home, because you're talking about a group of people who grew up on K-pop. Like, it's so weird. I follow a lot of K R&B people on Instagram. I also follow a lot of beautiful Thai men on Instagram. Don't go to my Instagram, it's a dumpster fire. But they do 90s kids parties. And when they do 90s kids parties, they play old K-pop. They play H.O.T., they play Sekis, they play Finkel, they play SES, they play old K-pop, and like they get down. They bust out the choreography and the moves, and they get down. They were raised on K-pop, just the same way your new pop girls in the Western market were raised on Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. They were raised on pop music. They want to make pop music, and they want to make it at home. And they want to make stuff that helps them recapture something, that brings back memories for them. So K-pop companies really need to be looking at home, and instead of going for that 30 and 40-year-old producer, Brave Brothers and those kind of people, go to what's at home and work from what's at home. They've got it. They've got it. Even if it takes raising them, even if it takes getting a younger songwriter and putting him in your system and showing him like what it is you're looking for that would work for you, just like you would train up an idol, train up songwriters. They're there. So I honestly think that is what we need, and that's the reason why a debut from Gravity means nothing to me. It's not because I don't like them as people, because I honestly don't even know them like that. It's about the fact that the people who put this out didn't give a fuck about longevity. They didn't give a fuck about lasting impact. They didn't give a fuck about the legacy that this begins. Instead, they were like, listen, if we wait too much longer, people won't care about the last season of Produce, so we better come up with something right now. That's the reason why so many people from the last season of Produce are doing something. Johan's moved into acting, which I cannot lie, I'm kind of sad because his musical talent was really coming up, but you know what? That boy is beautiful. So if he needs to do acting, do what you need to do, boo-boo. But like the two boys from, oh shit, I don't even know what label they're on, but it's like H&D, they're doing their debut. We had DeCapo, Wusik from Attention is going to do a solo. Like, everybody has announced all their projects. Everybody is, now that Produce is well and done and nobody's doing anything anymore, everybody's coming up with stuff. And nobody's coming up with anything memorable. Nobody's doing anything that we like. And we've talked about this before on the live stream about how, look at season 2 boys. And look at where things are going for them. All of the season 2 boys, with the exception of a couple, their record sales, the next record sells less than the next record, sells less than the next record, and goes on and goes on and goes on. Their album sales are dwindling. The interest is dwindling. Like, Kang Daniel has been holding on for dear life because the people who stand him the way that you would stand like a Rain or an IU. Like, it's all about him. But for the other people like them in the context of their group. They like them in the context of a one-on-one. They don't really like them on their own, and they don't want to buy their shitty music on their own, especially when all their shit sounds like everybody else's shit. And there's very few people that were involved in these groups that have distinctive voices that can carry them as a solo. A lot of you bitches were made for groups. I'm talking to you, Sumi. Or Somi. Sorry, not Somi. Somi, not Sumi. I'm talking about Joan Somi. YG, she is not a solo. She is a girl group member. You've made a grave mistake having her come out as a solo. She is a girl group member. Oh my gosh, I was talking to, who was I talking to? I might have been talking to you guys, or I might have been talking to my friends. But I was watching the video from Girl Crush, I think is the name of the song. The first kind of video that they did for IOI. And Somi was like all in the camera, giving you this energy, and you know, like I'm the vitamin, I'm the happy vitamin. But when it came to like actually laying down vocals, laying down music, not her strong suit, not her strong suit at all. But a good group has that weighted scale average of all those things. You know, you look at a good group, and a good group has the funny one, the dramatic one, the really great singer, the one who is a really great dancer. Like, everyone feels their part. And Somi, for her part, she is the happy vitamin. But she's not the singer. She's not the dancer. She's the visual. She is the fun visual. That is her role. And if she was doing acting, then sure, solo, because acting isn't done in tandem. People don't do acting in duets. But for by yourself, you've got to bring more. You've got to bring cunt. Like, straight up. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. You got to bring it to the table. And if you don't have those things, you're not a solo. Have you guys looked at Chungha's latest teasers for her new project?
Who's she? I'm kidding.
I was going to say, don't play me like that.
I'm kidding. I know who Chungha is.
Stunning. Go back and watch the Girl Crush video from IOI and see if you can even spot Chungha. See if you can even spot her. Like, she's barely in that bitch, and she doesn't have no makeup on. But yeah, if you look at the girls who make it as a solo, it's more than I'm cute and I'm fun. It is also I either am an excellent songwriter and vocalist, or I am a dancer that mesmerizes with my every move. There's not a single successful female solo in Korea that has gotten by just on looks. Not a one. Not a one. Name a successful female solo, and I will tell you there is something that she does outstandingly that allows people to want to watch her. Men have it way easier. Oh yeah, she was supposed to debut with ITZY. Men have it way easier. A man can be fine and be like, I will buy his bathwater. I don't care. Sell it to me. But women, they're looking for something special for them. And that's the reason why someone like an IU is so beloved, because she comes with something special. She comes with the voice of an angel. She comes with immaculate songwriting choices and tastes. And she comes with overall beauty. Like, she is the full package. And that bitch can act as well. She does it all. That's why she's so fucking massive in Korea, because she is literally perfect. Other than, some of the choices she makes with, like, her romance life. But that's not either here nor there. I just wish that shit would be undercover, basically, is what I'm saying. But like a Boa. When Boa was in her prime, Boa could sing, but Boa could outdance anyone on the stage. She could outdance anyone. Male, female, animal. She could outdance them all. She had to be the best in something. Look at, I'm trying to think another, Sunmi from the Wonder Girls. Mm-hmm. What makes it work for her? Overwhelming amounts of charm, great song choice, and the bitch is dancing her ass off. She is giving you everything, and she gives you an aesthetic that doesn't get matched by a lot of people. Even Hyolyn is serving body yaddy yaddy. She's serving vocals. She's serving these dance moves. You cannot, and Hyolyn isn't even that popular now that Sistar is disbanded. Ooh, irony. Hyolyn is giving you all of that. And yet and still, she can't seem to catch a break since she left Sistar. What made YG think that people were going to cap for fucking Jeon So-mi? Not happening, sis. It's not happening. I'm sorry. Other people that we're not capping for, side tangent, but I just had to put this on there because I could not believe it, and I want somebody to tell me it's not real. There is a group of girls that aren't from Korea necessarily, but they have decided they're going to launch a K-pop group, and their K-pop group is called Kachi. It's Kaachi, Kachi, and they decided that they need a fandom name. So they decided to, throw it out there like, ladies, fellas, tell us what you want to be called, because we want to make sure that we have a name for all of our beloved supporters. Something that sounds like Kachi would be great. So tell me what you've got. Tell me why their fandom is called Coochie! What? I'm sorry. I thought that Dia's fandom was dumb because I thought that Aid was a dumb name for a fan, but bitch, I would rather be an Aid than be a Coochie. I mean, I got one, but I ain't one. I like to not be narrowed down to what's between my legs, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I cannot believe that in 2020, that people who aren't even from Korea, that are from the West, would be like, yes, Coochie is a perfectly acceptable name for our fandom. I hope I'm lying. But it's Coochie with a K. Koochie. Coochie. I just can't. I can't. I don't even care what they sound. At this point, they could have the voices of hummingbirds and doves, and it could be beautiful melodies that they're spitting out here. But Coochie? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Oh, man. Ugh. Coochie... Okay, so for those of you who are not from the United States, you might not understand why I think Coochie is such a terrible name for a fan group. So I'm going to tell you. In the West, particularly in America, particularly in Southern America, amongst Black communities specifically, We have a lot of euphemisms for female sexual organs. We will call them
Box.
call it the box, call it, the vajayjay, your private,
Your cat.
your coot, the cat. And one of the words that we use, especially when it comes to blues music from the South, we'll call it the coochie. And so if you hear a song talking about hoochie coochie, somebody's talking about, getting it on, getting it in. And so that is the reason why calling your fans coochies is so incredibly hilarious, because you basically have assigned your fandom the name vaginas. And I refuse. I refuse. If I was ever going to check out this group, I certainly ain't now. Because I can't risk liking them. I can't risk calling myself a coochie. So, yeah, that is the reason why calling your fans coochies is an epic fail of epic proportions, because, I mean, why? Why would you ever? And you can look it up in case you think I'm lying. Type in COOCHIE and just put it on what do you call it, private mode or whatever while you're searching this up, because you don't want this in your search history. But go on ahead and look up coochie and you tell me what your results tell you, because I know what mine would say, but I'm not going to look it up because I don't need the FBI seeing me doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, what the hell is wrong with people? Like, seriously, are you fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? I know people want to do stuff for attention, but this ain't it, sis. This ain't it. Okay, thing I'm going to talk about very briefly. And so I'm not going to talk about it very long because I really don't know anything about this. But Lisa from Blackpink is doing a show. Yes, you got it right, Tarian. She's doing a show in China. I think it's called Youth with You. You with Youth. Something like that. I'm not sure. But it's it's kind of a produce style show. And there is a produce... I think this is the same thing, but I may be wrong. I want to say there is a produce going on in China that hasn't aired yet, perhaps, but it is, it's got 100 girls, I think, and there is a contestant who is half African, not African American, half African, half Chinese. And I believe her name is Feifei. And I've not heard a single note from her lips. I have not watched her hit a single lick on the dance floor. But she has got a huge, huge PR boost from literally being biracial. And I'm not saying that I don't get it, because trust me, I get it. I've said this before about being a Black American, how we sometimes feel like we don't have a country of our own because the records of where our ancestors came from were not kept. So some of us might be part Igbo, some of us might be some other regional tribe of some sort from Africa, but we won't really know because our people were basically kidnapped and forced to come here for slave labor, and nobody gave a damn about where their slaves came from as long as they did the work. But we don't talk enough about how biracial people feel about that. And for people who are half and half, sometimes they don't feel African enough, sometimes they don't feel Chinese enough, they don't feel Korean enough, they don't feel white enough. They don't have a place where they feel secure a lot of the times. Or in order to feel secure, you have to give up one in order to fully immerse yourself in the other. And for someone who is half African, it would be almost impossible to give up your African identity because it shows in your skin, it shows in your features, it's right there. And so I see why a lot of people look at Feifei before she's had a chance to do anything and have said to themselves, like, I'm supporting her because she is somebody that I see myself with. And if the public as a whole in China can accept her, then maybe they can accept me. And if I don't feel comfortable in my African identity, maybe I can find a home in my Chinese identity, because that's what people need. They need a home. They need a home. Even if they don't have a physical home, they need a cultural home. I mean, one thing I can say as an African American myself, I may not have a motherland specifically that I can go back to and be like, my people started here, but I can tell you, like, Black Twitter is a thing, and what we said about our parents putting on music because it's time to clean house, and the food that we eat, and the music we listen to, and the way we dance, and the fact that we all know that coochie means your hoo-ha. All those things are part of me being an African American, of me being a Black person. And so I really hope that things go well for her on the show, only because I know what she means to a population who feels like they aren't seen, or that people are ashamed of them. Because honestly, a lot of times people who are biracial in Asian societies, unless you are one Asian mixed with another form of Asian, a lot of times you're looked at as a mistake that your mother made. A lot of times, if you're half Black, people assume, oh, your mother must have been a whore during one of the wars and got pregnant by a GI of some sort. And so, like, there's a lot of negative, yeah, there's a lot of negative connotation to being a biracial person. People make a lot of assumptions about your family. And so I really wish the best for her. I hope everything works out for her, because people can be unkind. People can be very unkind. And when people see you being unkind, it lets them feel like you'll be unkind to me as well. It doesn't stay in that one instance. When people say, well, I'm not racist, I was just mean to that person. Well, no, if I'm watching you do this, it makes me feel like you would be like this to all of these kind of people, no matter what. Also, like, I'm so glad, and this is going to sound extra shallow, and I apologize, but this is something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm so glad that she knows how to manage her hair. And I know there's going to be some of you, like I said, who are going to be like, I don't know why you would bring that up. That seems extra shallow, extra vain. But as a Black person with a certain texture of hair, I know that there's a lot of biracial people out there that their hair is a constant struggle and fight. And so I'm so glad that she's got a handle on it, because if she leaves it up to these shows, bad things are going to go on. I'm just going to give you an example right here. This is a biracial gentleman in Korea. He is an actor slash model slash TV host. And this is this baby's hair on the TVs. This is what the stylist decided to do with his fucking hair. This is the reason why a lot of African American celebrities, a lot of people with my hair texture have to learn to do their own hair, because if you leave it up to people who don't know how to deal with our hair texture, you end up looking like fucking Al Sharpton. And that's not my joke. That is actually K-Hip Hop World on the Twitter. That's her joke. But yeah, I just gotta do for your own. You gotta do for your own, because otherwise they will do you fucking dirty in these streets. They will do you really super dirty. Oh man. Okay, so try to think what other things are okay. Thing I need to talk about. I need to talk about Bang Bang Con real quick, because you know it was news. So Bang Bang Con went off, and basically for 2 days, Big Hit decided to broadcast the DVD'd concerts for. Oh my gosh, I'm falling over myself, because Bang Bang Con sounds like it should be for Big Bang, not for BTS. I feel like it should be something else. It should be Bangtan Con. That's what it should have been. Sorry, I'm just on my soapbox about that one. Anyway, BTS from the very beginning have done these like end of year memories of 2000 whatever, or epilogues, or the blank tour. They've always done these DVDs of their tours from the very beginning. And so what Big Hit decided to do is on their YouTube channel, they were going to stream these tours. Now the streaming started at like 12 noon Korean time. And so like where I lived, I think that was like either 7 or 8 o'clock at night, something like that. So I didn't catch a lot of it, because once you get into like hour 4, we're talking midnight hours, and I'm an old bitch. I gotta sleep. And sorry, it's just the way things are. But I watched a little bit of it, and if I could come away with one major kind of point that it brought to mind for me, it is the fact that there's so much bullshit that Big Hit tries to market to their fans, when what we really need more than anything is for you to reissue these fucking tour DVDs. That's what a sister really needs. That's what we need, because buying them shits on the open market, the one that I wanted was the 2015 epilogue DVD. Excuse me. Sorry. I went all over Al Gore's internet, the lowest priced one I could find was $187. And if you think that I'm going to spend my good government surplus check on that, you've got me fucked up. You got me all the way fucked up. But you keep marketing fucking BT21 dolls and marketing, you know, all kinds of other little like tchotchke shit, t-shirts, coats, socks, whatever the fuck. When really what you need to do is sit down and get with somebody and talk about what's it going to take for us to repress these DVDs. Like, you don't have to do it all the time, but I feel like this was a prime marketing moment, especially for new fans, because I saw on Twitter so many fans who became fans during the Blood, Sweat, and Tears era and beyond who had never heard Tomorrow. Never heard. Which I'm thinking, how do you call yourself a fan if you've never heard these songs? People who had never heard Run or I Need You. People who had never heard Hip Hop Lover, who had never heard Coffee or Rain or War on Hormone. Like, they've never heard these things. And the sad part about it is that if you never heard of it and you weren't watching fan cams and stuff at the time, you'll never see that choreography on stage again. You'll never see it because they don't do it. They always do whatever is like the most recent project, and then they do like a medley of their biggest hits, but they're not going back in the vault and pulling out Tomorrow again. They're not pulling out Autumn Leaves. They're not pulling out House of Cards even. And that's a fucking shame that there's going to be BTS fans walking the face of the earth who've not heard House of Cards. Come on, girl. Get it together, sis. But the albums are all in print. So it's not like you don't have access to the songs. They're on streaming. Hell, if you've got an Amazon Prime membership, you can go to Amazon Prime and listen to every old BTS album for fucking free. But you're not going to see the choreo. And you haven't lived if you haven't seen the choreo to Tomorrow. First of all, I'm going to say this right now. I do not understand to this very day how a song like Tomorrow, which is all about, you know, subverting society's expectations of you and chasing your dreams today because you might run out of time and, you know, really focusing on your goals, even though the world is telling you you're supposed to be one kind of adult. I do not know how that became choreo that involved body rolling and crotch grabbing. Don't get it. Don't get it. But it is there. And it's a sight to see if you ignore that some of the members are underage. But yeah, I think that was a huge misstep on the part of their company. They used BangBangCon as a time for them to market the new fan light, the new light stick, instead of marketing these fucking old ass DVDs. You're missing out on so much money. So much money. Like, seriously, just do a reprint. Do a reprint. In fact, I'll even give you an idea for this because I happen to major in K-pop marketing. So my idea is this. You release a limited edition set of BangBangCon DVDs. Call it that. Don't reprint the original packaging and everything. Make that to where that is still a collector's item. That way the market doesn't get like bottomed out. But do a BangBangCon set of DVDs and like make it a 6 or an 8-part set, whatever else it is. I don't know. And make it to where if you buy all of the DVDs, like the spines all match up and it says BangBangCon. And then what you do is you do sets of interviews. And what you do is you add a special feature to the DVD. So you do interviews, take pictures, and that's your photo book for that concert. Then you sit the guys down and you make them watch the concert and do their kind of like, oh, do you remember this? Do you remember that? That was the first time we did this. That was the first time we did that. Oh, I missed this mark or whatever. Put that as a bonus feature on the DVD. So that would make it to where it becomes almost a totally new product. Almost. And it makes people want to buy it because they want to buy the set. They make them want to buy it because they want to see the group's reaction to their old material. Are them telling stories about like what happened during that tour. This one got sick. This one got injured, whatever else. And also you have new content with taking the pictures of them and, you know, maybe showing them like their old costumes and then like looking at them like, oh, can you believe we used to wear stuff like this? Or like, that was my worst hairstyle. I never want to go back to that color. But yeah. make it a totally new product, but at the same time, something that people want to spend money on that relates to some shit you've already filmed. The only thing that you have to pay new is like pay for these new pictures and pay for them to like give their video commentary. That's it. That's all you gotta pay for. I don't know why you're not doing this. You're literally throwing away money. Fuck a light stick. It's not like I'm gonna be able to use it anytime soon. I'm not buying no fucking light stick to use in my living room. Are you shitting me? Get the fuck out of here. I'm not buying a light stick to use in my living room. But I will buy a light stick to use at your concert. And since you're not doing your in-person concerts anytime soon, go ahead and release these DVDs and repackage them and make them Bang Bang Con DVDs. So, yeah, that's my idea. I don't know why they're not doing it unless it's like a licensing thing. But I mean, they've always been big hits. So it can't be like another company owns this. It shouldn't be like that. So yeah, I don't know why you're not doing that. Listen to mama. I know. I know what I would buy. I'll put it that way. I know what I would buy. I would buy that. I would find a way to buy that. At the very minimum, I would at least buy the tours, like the Red Bullet and, everything kind of before 2016. I would buy those things. Absolutely, I would do it. So, just saying, you're missing out on this money. You're missing out on this money. Okay, Super M on the One World, It's a Circle Forever, Cheetah Girls. Oh, no, I'm getting it wrong. I don't know what the name of that fucking concert is. I just, for some reason, when I hear One Together, One World, I keep thinking of, like, the last Cheetah Girls movie. Stephanie was about to sing. I was ready to dance. One world, one heart, one love. It's a circle forever. We love the Cheetah Girls in this house. And like, truth be told, Cheetah Girls One World is actually my favorite Cheetah Girls movie. I know there's a few of you who are going to shade.
That's when Galleria left.
It's not because that's when Galleria left. It's because my favorite Cheetah Girls song is in that movie.
What thing?
Nobody can sing like me. I can hit any note you're giving me from A to Z. Yes, I can. Nobody can act like me. Dance like me. You're right.
Nobody can dance like me.
I can move to the beat you're playing, baby, with my feet.
Nobody
Yeah.
can act like me.
I can fall to pieces and make you believe in almost anything. 'Cause I'm the one. Stepping out and I'm breaking all the rules all alone. Gonna show everybody what I can do. I'm the one. But you bet on me, can't you see that I'm the one? Don't need anybody now, I'm making it on my jump to the bridge. I don't wanna be the one that everybody notices. I'm stepping out alright. I wanna be the one who's always front and center for the first time in my life. Oh, man, I have to say, Disney back in its prime had the hits. If you go back and watch some fucking Cheetah Girls movies, them songs be fucking jamming. I mean, sometimes they oversing a little bit. Raven and This Over.
It's
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Raven, baby. The lip tremble at the end. Come on. But yeah, anyway, I'm totally one World Together concert, whatever the fuck it was. Super M was supposed to go on and do a little ditty from the house, do a little Zoom meeting to let everybody know the boys are in the house, we're ready to sing, let's go. And the members of Super M decided that wouldn't it be fun, even though some of us live together, for us to all be in separate rooms and just showing us doing our everyday things, doing the things that we always do. Like, I'm always working out. My name is Lucas. I'm always sitting on the couch. My name is Becken. I'm always making garlic bread. My name is Taemin. Bitch, what?
I'm always making garlic bread.
What? Okay, because I'm a shiny stan, I get a lot of shiny content to come through my timeline. Everyone who's a Shawl knows Taemin is not to be trusted around no fucking fire. He is not to be trusted around kitchen elements, knives, butters, seasonings. What the fuck? Who's got him cooking? At one point, he was supposed to shake the seasoning onto the bread. That bitch put his hand out and then put it back and started shaking, and it just fell on the countertop. What? You totally missed your hand. You totally missed the bread. You seasoning the countertop. Sir, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
I was making garlic
You know,
bread.
I'm sure Keebum is sitting in the military, like, doing this number, like, please don't let him burn down his fucking dorm on TV. But yeah, it's like, ugh, this baby right here. Why do y'all lie? Why do y'all lie? But, and then 10, technical difficulty 10, that should be his nickname, because he's like, I'm gonna get on my iPad. I'm gonna get on my iPad, and I'm gonna draw a beautiful picture, and everybody's gonna love it. Look what oh, bitch, this thing timed out. Okay, blank screen. Let me try to put that back up. Look at like, sir, come on. Come on. Oh, gosh. But, I mean, you know, kudos for them because they sang all in English, which, you know, that is a feat. It was a new song for them, like in terms of a song that wasn't released on the Super M album. So, yeah. You can buy it online. You're more than welcome. Go find it. But yeah. Oh, a lot of people posted it online. You can find it everywhere. But it's Super M singing their song With You. You can look it up. It was a good time. It definitely was a good time. It was made for memes. But it was just so funny to me because I'm just like, why? Why are you like this, Taymeen? You act like people don't know you and haven't known you since you were 14. We know you can't cook. We know you are strictly a DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats boy. Good times, good times. But those are like the major things that I think have happened in K-pop. There really hasn't been anything else. A lot of K-drama news. The King Eternal Monarch, I think is the name of the show. Lee Min-ho, best known for Boys Over Flowers and Heirs, is in this show. I'm not watching it because it's on Netflix, and I don't really watch Netflix like that. Also, China's got a show right now called The Guardian. A lot of people are watching. I heard is really, really good. So, I mean, there's all kinds of really good stuff to watch that's on TV right now. So, you know, if quarantine's got you down, trust me, there are escape worlds just waiting for you to go watch them. Good times. Things that are non-K-pop adjacent at all, again, because I started this kind of with that. If you are a fan of gospel music, of which I am a fan, Lifetime did the Clark Sisters movie. It was really good. I especially recommend it for those people who are not particularly religious but appreciate African American music, because it shows kind of like how tough it is to grow up in the South as a Black preacher's kid. Like, yeah. So it's a good cultural insight into that. I love, me personally, this may not be your gig, but this is totally my gig. I love watching movies that show me a different side of life for people. So, like, part of the reason why I used to really love K-dramas so much is that I loved seeing, like, how are Korean kids raised? You know, what is considered a middle-class Korean family? What's not a middle-class Korean family? Like, you know, what is their standard for behavior and morality and things like that? Because once you've been able to kind of look at some of those cultural aspects, the behavior of idols, the behavior of their record companies, all these things start to fall into place because you get what the expectation is. And so you're not kind of like, well, we don't do that in my country, so I don't know why you do it in your country. That's a really closed-minded and kind of like shitty attitude to take with things. It makes much more sense for you to spend the time to watch a K-drama, which is already exciting, fun, interesting, and then use that to be able to inform your opinions. Get why it is that this is such a big deal. Get why it is that people apologize to their parents when they get in trouble, because familial activity and being a filial child is so very important there. Because in some countries it's not. Like, you know, in America, if Rihanna's father wants to act a fucking fool, people don't put that against Rihanna. They're like, that's not your fault. But in Korea, you can understand why it is a K-pop idol whose parents run up debt shames them, and they have to pay it back out of their money, even though it happened when they were fucking 2 and 3 years old and they had nothing to do with it. So yeah, those are things that I definitely recommend you take the time and learn about the culture, like really about the culture. So then you can get why people say the things that they say and they do the things they do because of the context that they're raised in. And then I guess I'm gonna let you guys ask me questions and I'll try to respond the best I can. But the last thing I have to talk about is the fact that I finally, after forever, decided to open a TikTok account strictly so I could follow Rain, because Rain has a TikTok. It is Rain, period, XIX, and he's only got one video so far, but it's him doing the drip challenge, which I had never even heard of the drip challenge before, but it is him basically becoming a b-boy and showing how flexible that old man body is, and I am here for it, baby. He looks so damn good. He looks so fucking good.
What are we talking about?
Talking about B-Rain.
All right.
He's got a TikTok. It's the only reason I joined. I had no plans to ever open a TikTok. I was fine with watching TikToks on Twitter. Like, that's how I watch TikTok. Somebody like, did you see this video? And somebody will put a TikTok on Twitter, and that's how I'll see it. But for the most part, I had no plans to ever open a TikTok. I would never, not gonna do it. But then all of a sudden, Rain decided to happy dance his ass onto the platform. Like, well, I got to be the first to see these videos. I will join up. Send me notifications. Because I love him. That's the only reason. Yeah, that's the only reason. I would never, for nobody else. And I have no plans to follow anybody else. As far as I'm concerned, the platform is trash. I downloaded it and I'm like, okay, I'll get on here and I'll see if I can find some cool shit that I like. Because I'm not a 15-year-old who's like on here looking for the latest TikTok dances. That's not my ministry. That's not my thing. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I'm on here looking, for example, vegan recipes, vegan hacks. Like, I'm looking for food. That's what I'm on TikTok for. And yeah, instead, TikTok is like people playing really mean fucking pranks on people and like dance challenges. And so, yeah, there's nothing on TikTok for me. Literally nothing on TikTok for me. Just Rain. Even though I have to say, the other reason why I think I have this super averse reaction to TikTok is because I'm on Instagram. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I follow a lot of Thai actors on Instagram because of the boys love shows I watch. And anytime they do anything on TikTok, they go ahead and repost it on their Instagram. And yeah, watching Thai boys love actors do TikTok will make you want that app to burn in hell. Because they are some of the worst dancers on the planet. And I'm sure it wouldn't be bad if they were like just regular, ordinary human beings living their day-to-day life, working a 9 to 5, and were basically living in obscurity. But, you know, these are accounts that have, you know, 500,000 followers or more sometimes. And the TikToks they do are some of the worst TikToks ever. Like, the dancing is...
Oh, wow. How the turns have tabled. How the turns have tabled. How I am right constantly once again. Oh.
I have no idea what she's going off about, but, you know, all right.
My theory is right. My theory is right.
Okay. Again, I have no idea what she's looking at. Stephanie's got a whole laptop, cell phone.
I checked my TikTok. I noticed that I had a notification about this is suggested to you because this was from whatever contacts or whatever. I'm like, hold on, this is someone from my old school. I'm like, not a darn thing has changed, and I was right. Nobody in that area has changed, and I'm right.
Not right. These sound like personal issues, which I don't really have nothing.
Not a person has changed.
I just want you to know when I look down, it's not because I'm ashamed of my child. I'm just disappointed sometimes.
No.
Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know why we're like this. Why are we like this? Why are you like this? But no, I'm not ashamed. Just disappointed. I disappoint. Okay, so I'm going to pull up, if I can find him. There he is. So I'm going to pull up one of the main reasons why I hate TikTok in Thailand. It's been reported that TikTok companies ask people prior to social media right now the location where they claim is true only for it to be true. They might. I mean, if TikTok wants to come find me, good luck. It's not like I got anything going on here, and I'm not a minor, so whatever. Is this the one? No, that's not the shitty one. Oh, this is the shitty one. Okay. I hate this fucking TikTok. So I'm gonna wait for it to start over and then I'm gonna show it to you. But there's this TikTok It's the same song, the same lazy ass music, and everybody's doing it, and it is just. Somebody needs to burn that fucking app to the ground. They need to burn it to the fucking ground. That is the most no effort, not trying, don't give a fuck, don't give a damn. Like, it is just, it is so bad. It is so bad. And it'd be different if you were like, oh, well, he's just a bad dancer. So that's the reason why he's so fucking shitty, because he's a bad dancer. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. There's a whole bunch of them out here that are terrible. Fucking terrible. I'm going to try to pull up another one because I feel like you need to know that I'm not lying. Not lying at all. Excuse me. So I'm going to try to find another one, even though it's hard to find people on Instagram. I'll be honest with you. It's not my favorite thing to use. But yeah, I can't. Talk amongst yourself while I look for another terrible example of this really shitty trend on Instagram.
Everyone
or TikTok, I guess.
in that part of Texas is predictable.
Okay.
Every time I had a hunch about a person, it's like, oh, no, I'm not. Fast forward 1, 2, 3 years. I go back and I'm like, oh, who is this? Somebody from my old school? Just like I had imagined. Just like I had imagined. That old girl with the golden teeth who... well, not golden teeth, but like teeth so yellow they looked golden.
Ew.
Who just refused to brush her teeth. Turns out she's a racist. I've been called it from a mile away. No wonder you have golden teeth.
Wow.
No wonder
we
you
thought
have
that your
golden
political opinions were going to be reflected in the color of your teeth. That's sad. That's sad.
Inside ugliness reflects on the outside.
Okay, here's another one. You thought I was lying. You thought I was lying when I said it's not just one. That is the fucking trend. I don't know what the name of that song is. I don't want to know what the name of that song is. All I want to know is why we are not trying to burn TikTok to the fucking ground. We can't keep encouraging this kind of behavior amongst our children or our young adults. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. And it's always that song. It's not any other, like some of the other songs, the dancing is shitty, I get it. But that particular song has people doing their very laziest, lowest energy body rolls, and it's just embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. And I could live without it. I could totally live without it. The only thing that's any good is like the ones where people are doing like their family portraits and they're reenacting them. That's the only thing. But yeah, that... No. It was more comical than anything. And you guys, when I tell you this, I hope you'll laugh as hearty a har as I am. The thing that makes that last video even funnier is that kid is about to be a part of a boy group. He is an actor in a show called 2 Moons 2, where he plays Kit from the couple Mean Kits. And yeah, him and his co-star and a few of the other boys from their acting company, whatever, are going to debut in a group called OXQ. So he will be doing this lazy ass, sloppy, terrible, low energy body roll on stage trying to get you to buy fucking albums. Get the fuck out of here! It's never gonna happen! No fucking way! There's a lot I love about Thai Boys Love, but you on stage trying to do your worst love shot dance routine, or you trying to do your worst do, I can't support. I'm so sorry. It's not me. It's not going to happen. I think it's like originals times quality or something. It means something, but it doesn't mean anything to me because I will not be consuming. It's awful. It's terrible. It's disgusting. Blah. Basura. Basura. But yeah, man.
You
Trash. I hate it. TikTok. That's the reason why I don't get on there. I have it. I've had it since Rain decided he was gonna TikTok his ass through it. But yeah, I don't want that to do
also
it.
to that girl that made that TikTok about
poor
how's
Stephanie.
my form, that stupid. Oh, I did it just for a joke. I didn't know the meaning behind it. She had to go to some sort of photo editor to make there be a background picture of a cotton
That is another
field.
reason why TikTok needs to be fucking banned, because these
How
children
did
don't
you-
know what the hell to do with their lives. There are so many
Racist.
Asian and white children that are on the TikToks doing these videos that are like, there's one called How's My Form, where like they'll put something on the screen that's positive, and then like, now that I have your attention, how's my form? And it'll be like them standing in front of a cotton field, or them bending over with a bundle of cotton on their back. But they'll
And it
always
didn't
but
used
they'll
to be
always
racist.
say like, now that I have the black people's attention, ... how's my form? And it's like,
yeah.
I cannot believe you came on Al Gore's internet to do some shit like this. Get the fuck out of here. Or like our girl Stephanie Friedman and her boyfriend Jeffrey Hyde, yes, I said their full government names, who decided to get on like TikTok.
Here's how you make black people. First, they have an addiction to chicken and watermelon. They're not very smart.
No fathers.
Said it in like the sweetest way. Y'all knew what y'all was doing.
First of all, this quarantine has got you going crazy. Obviously. The quarantine has got you going crazy. Quarantine got you crazy. But also, like, you act like people can't trace you down. It's not the FBI finding people at their home. It's fucking Ned and Sharika who get your IP address and are able to be like, this looks like, according to my triangulations, that she goes to Carrollton High
people
School
that go to
and
the
she applied to
school.
go to University of Georgia. Like,
Probably
people know
black
you.
People that go
And
to
if
the
you-
school.
Yeah, and if you go viral, do you think that somebody out in America is not going to recognize your fucking face? You know, that's the reason why I wonder who can be president in 40 years. Who can actually be president in 30 or 40 years? Because your generation is going to want to run for president, and somebody's going to say, do you remember back in 2020 when you did this TikTok where you was body rolling and the song had the N-word in it? Like, that shit's going to happen. Real talk, that's going to happen. The internet will not go away. It's always there. Watch what you put on this fucking internet. It's gonna come up again, even if you don't use your real name, even though you did, because your TikTok is your first and your last name because you're dumb. But even if you don't use your full name, somebody is going to recognize you if you go viral, and they're like, I know that bitch.
We got your fingerprints. your
Never
t-shirt.
forget. The biggest lesson of all time, never forget the girl who went on Twitter and said, I am on a flight to Africa. I hope I don't get AIDS. She put it on Twitter, and by the time that bitch landed in Johannesburg, she was fired from her job. She put her phone on airplane mode, and when she turned that bitch back on, she had lost everything. This internet shit ain't a joke.
Wait, she was complaining I know anywhere is just, but she was complaining about getting AIDS in Johannesburg.
She was being stupid is what she was. She was being stupid. And it's just like,
Alright.
if that don't teach you, they are out here. They called her employer. They said, did you realize your employee was posting this shit on the internet? She got fired by the time she touched down. She opened up her phone when she got to South Africa and was like, shit, what are all these notifications? Oh my gosh, I got like 50 missed calls. What the fuck is going on? My work is calling me? Let me call them and see what's going on. I know I finished up stuff. Hey girl, what's happening? Did you need my help with something? What? I mean, what? Well, I mean, that's... But I didn't... it was a joke. I didn't... You can't meet... I'm supposed to be on vacation right now. I didn't... Just wait till I come home so I can explain to you that it was a joke. Oh my God.
Like, thanks to you guys.
I mean...
I did get accepted to the University of
For
Georgia.
real. You know, it's this internet. You know what's so ironic about all of this? It's ironic to me that we will find you if you post something super racist, califragilisticexpialidocious on the internet. But when stands get on the internet and are like, I'm going to blow up the Staples Center if such and such comes in concert, we don't ever seem to find them hoes. We don't ever seem to find them hoes. Like, I would really love to know, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, every time we have an issue with somebody putting in a bomb threat, it seems like them hoes are never to be found. But you get on, I guess it's because you show your whole face. I guess that's the trick. It's like, make sure it's a burner account, not traced to nothing. That way you can like eliminate real quickly and move on about your life. Because when you use your full government name and you put your face in there, people are going to find you. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times we've heard about like this person threatened this type of action and that kind of action. They never get found, never get punished. You know what's going on? But yeah, you know, I wish I could feel bad for these kids, and in some ways I kind of do. I mean, because let's be honest, I had some very racist moments in my childhood, and I would hate to be judged as an adult for that. Prime example, me and Stephanie were
Don't go airing out your business.
I'm not worried about this because I've learned my lesson. When I was a child, my favorite Disney movie was Lady and the Tramp.
Oh yeah, the Siamese song.
Yes, there were these two cats, and they sang a song called "We Are Siamese."
Don't sing it.
I know how to adult. Let me talk, ma'am. Otherwise, you can do a YouTube channel and you can talk. I'm always getting monitored and policed in my own home. I cannot wait for this quarantine to be over so I can escape. Anyway, I really liked Lady and the Tramp. It was one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Peggy Lee singing the He's the Tramp song. It's a great song. It's a great song. The Siamese song. I used to sing that song as a child. I used to sing the We Are Siamese song. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think about how this was a racist caricature of Asian people, how it fed into a stereotype about Asian people. Like, I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought that the cats, I remember thinking very specifically, them Siamese cats are evil. Look at all the shit that they're doing to get Lady in trouble. But I didn't think of it as like, and Asian people are evil. I thought of it as like, these particular cats are bastards. And so, like, I've learned. I now recognize that it's virtue signaling. I recognize that it's a subtext that, you know, you link these Asian cats with Asian people, and this is a critique and a metaphor. Just like the crows from Dumbo are black people, and that's why they have black sense, even though all the voice actors were white people, which is ironic. So, you know, like, we all have those moments. We all have those things that, you know, hindsight being 2020, would have never embraced, would have said something, we'd known what we were doing was wrong.
But you know the difference between people who get caught right here and your little thing?
20
yours
years.
wasn't recorded.
Yeah, 20
and
years.
Theirs was. But I mean, even when we have access to phones and stuff, I always kept my problematic stuff offline. I ever said anything that could be deemed as problematic now or in 70 years, I've kept that stuff to myself.
I try to make sure that all I put on the internet is my thirst. Like, that's about as problematic as I get, as I like to be on the internet broadcasting my thirst. Like I said, don't go to my Instagram. It's a dumpster fire. You don't want to know the stuff I like.
And especially for
Lots of
y'all who want to
suggestions
get
of nudity.
famous and stuff, don't be putting all your problematic things on social media.
But that's the thing. Like, your generation is learning the rules now. Like, that's the thing. Your generation is learning the rules now. Okay, let's talk about it again. I know that y'all don't want to hear about boys love. I promise you this has nothing to do with a television show. This just has to do with the internet and learning lessons. So the most popular boys love show airing right now arguably is Together the Series. And there's two lead actors. One is named Bright, one is named Win. Bright has an internet account. He has Instagram, he's got Twitter, and he's followed a lot of people. He's had his accounts for years. And now that he's got almost 4 million followers on the Instagram, over 3 million, he has a lot of eyes scrutinizing his follow list. And people went through his follows list and found that he followed some porn channels, followed some adult actresses. And people were like, how dare you? You are supposed to be a role model to people, and when kids see that you do this kind of stuff, they're going to think that it's okay, and you're setting a bad precedent. And listen, guys, listen. I mean, for those of us who are active adults, sometimes we like to embrace ourselves in an intimate way. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not following an account that harms a person, if you're not following an account where people are in obvious distress or they're being overtly racist, sexist, biased, anything else, I don't care if you follow a porn account. I really don't. Also, let's be completely honest about context here. Boys Love is all about fetishizing gay people. So nobody who is on the internet loving Boys Love couples needs to be on here also saying you need to be an example to people and you shouldn't do stuff like this. And what about the kids? I sure as fuck hope the kids aren't watching this. I mean, except for the young men if they want to see healthy portrayals of gay relationships. But for the most part, a lot of these shows where they're kissing and hugging and implying that things are going on, that shit ain't for kids.
Kissing and hugging, kissing and hugging.
So again, shut the fuck up. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do. Shut the fuck up. People follow what they follow. Shit, like I said, don't go on my Instagram and look at my follows because some of the people I follow, it's a lot of dick prints going on in their Instagram photos. But I'm also fucking 40 years old. I can follow whatever the fuck I want. I don't follow no children doing shit like this. I follow grown ass, big ass, buff, beautiful men. There's some men that I follow that look like they could rip you in half if they just put their mind to it. Like, they're huge. But anyway, come on, internets. But that's the thing, though. A guy like him who's in his early 20s, mid 20s, when he started his Twitter account, his Instagram account, which a lot of these celebrities, they put their real Instagram accounts and they forget that they had a whole history before they became celebrities and maybe they need to have a different account. They had their accounts for years. They had their accounts when they did not know that they were going to be famous, when they had no plans of being famous. And they're like, literally, it's just going to be me and my friends who are going to see this account. And so they didn't know then that their follows list was going to be looked at through a fine-tooth comb to figure out all the bad things you've done. Same thing with K-pop idols. K-pop idols, people go back to their neighbor accounts and some of their fan cafe stuff. They're like, oh, were you the one who was trying to tell girls how cute you were so that you could have dates with girls and use them? Like, yeah, I was doing 14 and 15-year-old boy shit. I sure was. People learn. People change. We have to allow people to do that. But I will also say this. Miss Stephanie Freeman and Mr. Jeffrey Hyde. You did that TikTok a week or two ago? We have to dig in your ass now because otherwise you're not going to learn. You got to learn. You got to learn. You have to learn before you start reproducing. Oh, Jay Park, you didn't know about this. Jay Park had a MySpace, and on his MySpace, he talked about how much he fucking hated it in Korea, how he thought that everything smelled bad, and he was not making friends and didn't like what he was doing. And then he debuted with 2PM and people dug back in his old MySpace. Were like, I can't believe you would say this about Korea. You're so terrible. We shouldn't give you any money if you hate Korea so much. Go back to America. And it's ironic now that many, many years later, he could host a show where many Native Koreans are begging to become a part of his record label. But yeah, totally. Back in the day, people were fucking mad as shit at Jay Park. And it's funny because today, somebody did a tweet. It was a Shawwell tweet. And it was like, stupid things. No, it was like weird articles during the time that Lucifer was promoting. And one of the articles Onu talking about how he was convinced that Jay Park was going to come back to 2PM because 2PM is OT7. Now, I don't know if that means that Onu was a huge fan of 2PM and that's the reason why he's like, I'm a hottest, I want them to come back together, or if he just knew Jay Parker was like, that kid's a star, he'll be back. But it was funny to see that because he was wrong, but he was right. He was wrong in terms of he's not coming back to 2PM, but he was right. That boy was coming back and he came back. In fact, I remember people saying exactly what kind of set him back. He did a Korean cover of Nothing on You, which Korea loves Bruno Mars and has loved Bruno Mars since day one. And so, of course, people were playing it all over because, like, Bruno Mars, but in Korean, hey. And then he got his gig on SNL, which was a huge move for him because his Korean wasn't great. But he did a whole skit about how his Korean wasn't great. And if you go type in Jay Park SNL and you'll be able to find that skit. Like basically it was him saying Korean words, but his pronunciation was bad. So it sounded like he was cussing throughout his job interview when really he was like trying to say nice things. But yeah, Jay Park found a way. He found a way. He's like, you may act like you don't like me, but I know what you like, and I can give you what you like, and you're gonna find that you actually really like me after all. So yeah, Jay Park, he's somebody that even though he gets on my nerves, and I talk about him a lot, he deserves a lot of respect because he had to do some things first in order for other people to be able to do them, and watching him succeed the way he has given a lot of hope to a lot of people and have given them kind of the ability to say, I'm not going to be chained down by the system. So like when you see a Baekhyun or Hyolyn say, I'm going to leave my major label and just do this shit on my own, they're looking at a Jay Park and saying, if he can do it, perhaps I too can do this. Perhaps this is also for me. Tattoos, fucking tattoos. People have had tattoos in K-pop before. It's not a new thing to have tattoos, but Jay Park has so many tattoos that it's unavoidable. You're going to see a peek here, a look there. But with Jay Park being so very upfront with his tattoos and his tattoos being so visible, I mean, he's tattooed down to his fingernails practically. It made other celebrities be like, okay, I can get out here and I can show my tattoos, or maybe I can get a piercing. I'm not going to lie. Some of y'all need to rethink your playbooks here. Some of y'all need to stop. But some of y'all, I get it. I'm not a big fan of that cheek under the eye piercing from Old Boy with GOT7. I think that shit looks scary. I would never let anybody put a needle that close to my eye if it wasn't like LASIK surgery or something, to be honest with you. But I mean, do you? Also, I've said it before, I don't particularly care for the tattoos that Jungkook has on his hand. They look like classroom I'm bored scribbles. I would like him, at the very minimum, I would like him to go back to a professional tattoo artist and have them cleaned up. Like, have the lines cleaned up, make it look a little bit more crisp, make it make sense. That's me. Thank you, Tay. I said the exact same thing on Twitter. I said Cheetah don't need to be fooling with no fucking music. She need to be talking about this cosmetics line. Cheetah needs to be the next Fenty Beauty. Cheetah could do it. She could do it. All of her makeup cases would have like cheetah print on them, and like she would be in all of her ads, showing off face. Yeah, she could do it. She could do it. Absolutely, she could do it because she wears makeup. Like, she's got a face made for makeup. I'm not saying that like she's ugly, because then some people, if they say you got a face for makeup, it's them saying you're ugly. But like her eye game, her eyeliner game, her lipstick game alone. Like, mama could do it. I don't know why you're wasting your time on this music when you could be getting this money. Then you can play with music if you want to, but you need to be getting on these cosmetics and getting this money. Because she wears a face. She beats that face down. So yeah, I think I've talked about everything that I wanted to make sure I talked about. Does anybody have anything they'd like me to address? I'll be honest with you, I haven't listened to all the music from all the people. So if you ask me about certain artists here and there, I may not know anything about them because I'm not listening to them. But you know what? I'm here for you. Ask me about it. And we'll talk about it. I'm all about talking. I'm all about, communication. Communication is a family. And while you're doing that, I think he took out his cheek piercing because he was freaking people the fuck out. It was uncomfortable to look at. I'm sorry. The cheek piercing just bothered me. Every time I saw it, I'm just like, that hurts. Oh, but maybe it's an indication that JB's trying to tell you, I'm a freak. Korea will be making a boys love. Yeah, I hope that Korea is planning on making a boys love. I I already talked about Kachi earlier, so you'll have to redo this. I'll leave it up so you can redo it. Oh no, I didn't talk about that. So Irene and Sulgi are doing a subunit for Red Velvet because Red Velvet can't come back as 5 because Wendy. And that's not a fault of her own. It has nothing to do with her being bad. It just like it is what it is. But yeah, Irene and Sulgi subunit. I'm super fucking pumped about it because Irene can almost keep up with Sulgi. Almost being the operative word. But they can sing, and so I expect vocal excellence when they finally come out. When I say almost keep up, I'm talking about dancing. Irene posted like a dance practice video on her Instagram, and it was okay, but it's obvious that she's a little loose, whereas Sulgi is precision. She is form. She is dance. Dance said with an accent of foreign. Dance. That is Sulgi. She is the dance. Whereas Irene is like, girl, I dance too. But yeah, together should be fun. Should be very fun. They won't have Yeri to hold them back, and that's not me hating on Yeri. You all have seen Yeri dance. You know what it is. You know what it is. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they have to do. I hope that they decide to get the Stereotypes to write them a little something, because Red Velvet plus the Stereotypes is a great time. So yeah, I hope so. Also, Lady Gaga, somebody from Target with they messy, trashy asses decided to leak the track listing for Chromatica, and we found out that Lady Gaga is doing a song with Blackpink, which is lovely. Lady Gaga is one of the few artists that I think we can all say got on the K-pop train early. She had Crayon Pop as an opening act for her at one point, so you know, we really like to see it. We love to see it. So I hope that it goes well. I hope it's like a literal song and not like a remix. That'd be great. But I don't know that they're necessarily going to do anything for Blackpink, because I am of the mindset that Blackpink will never shine until they're able to leave YG. Like, they'll be successful, no doubt, but they won't be able to shine, to gloss, to glow, to be what they were meant to be, their final form, until they have taken the shackles off their feet so that they can dance. My church kids, did you get the reference? Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. Okay, same. But yeah. But anyway, yes, Blackpink. It'll be fun. I can't wait to see it. Wisung going to the prosecuting office, not surprised. Wisung had like 2 incidents where he was passed out on that propofol. This is a man that needs help, and if court is going to do it for him, then that's what needs to happen, because that man is in trouble, and I don't want to see him die. But his addiction has gotten to a level that is very, very scary. So that is the reason why I really sincerely hope that good things happen for him. And if it takes jail time to make that happen, so be it. Get him away from these drugs, because he will kill himself, and it will be very sad. It'll be sad because he's a human being, and he's a nice guy from what I've heard, but it'll also be sad because I know how much Junghyun loved Wisung, how he was Junghyun's idol, and it would be very unfortunate for somebody that Junghyun loved so much and was so close to end in that way. That'd be sad. I missed a comment earlier. I'm going to try to scroll back, see if I can find it. Oh, the webtoon thing. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure I talked about. Okay, so how many of you read webtoons in the room? Does anybody here read webtoons online? Am I the only one? It's just me. I literally only follow one webtoon online, and it's a webtoon called True Beauty. I did talk about Chungha's MV trailer. I sure did. I called it cunt. It's a webtoon called True Beauty, and it is about a girl in high school who's kind of like a weirdo girl. Like, she loves Junji Ito manga and stuff like that, and you know, she's a weirdo, and she also has like acne and is not the cutest girl in the room. But in the middle of high school, she says, I'm going to do something about it. I am not going to live the rest of my high school experience being the ugly duckling and getting picked on by these bitches. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to transform myself. I will swan up, if you will. And so she spends the summer learning how to do makeup, and when she comes back to school, baby, she is like a whole new person. I think she ends up going to a different school also. But yeah, totally different person. People don't even recognize her. Her makeup game is that strong. So while she's in high school, she meets a boy. and his name is Suho, and she likes him. He's a nice guy. And when I say like, I literally mean like a friend, a friend. She likes him. And he's actually seen her without her makeup. So like they have a real friendship because he knows her. He knows her without the makeup and he knows her with the makeup. But there's a boy at school who loves her. And he loves her with the makeup. He doesn't really know her without the makeup. And Suho goes through a kind of traumatic event and he leaves the country, and the guy who loves her, they get close and they begin to date. Well, at this point in the story, from the free episodes, because we're always 3 weeks behind because you have to pay to get the advanced 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, at this point, Suho has come back to Korea. She is still dating the guy that was in love with her in high school, even though we think Suho might have been in love with her, but was just too shy to say anything. But there's still a little bit of storyline there. But it is still ongoing. It is not finished. It is not finished at all. And so it has been announced that Cha Eun-woo from Astro is going to be one of the lead characters. I don't know if they said which character he's going to play, but he's going to be one of the lead characters in True Beauty. It has been confirmed, official. Webtoons are basically like manga or manhwa that you can access through your computer instead of having to buy the physical. I'm so scared. I'm so scared because Cheese in the Trap was an ongoing series when it became a drama series. And it started out super strong and it stayed super faithful to the source material. And then a few episodes in, people were like, so that Kang Sojun guy, he's fine. I'd like to see more of him. And the people who were doing the show said, oh, you like the second lead? Let us give him a bigger part. And they started fucking with the storyline. And that show ended in one of the worst endings of all time. I don't even know how the webtoon ends. I have no fucking idea. But that show, I have never been more mad about the way a series ended until I watched History Make Our Days Count. Honestly, that was the one that broke the camel's back, was History Make Our Days Count. Prior to that, Cheese in the Trap was the worst ending I'd ever seen on any series in my life. So you should watch the television show, but just remind yourself that it's going to end poorly, and then you'll be happy. I didn't watch the movie because, again, I was so soured by the series, I could not. But there's a video on my Shawol 360 Chats channel, if you ever feel like listening to me yell for an hour, where I reviewed the last episode of Cheese in the Trap, and I tell you everything that was fucking wrong with it. But the worst part of that fucking show was when the girl who grew up with the main lead pushes the female lead in front of a car, and she goes into a coma because she's hit by a fucking car, and her boyfriend, who's supposed to love her, doesn't show up to her house for months. And when he finally does show up to her house, she, instead of being like, where the fuck were you? What about that crazy bitch who pushed me in front of the car? What the fuck are you gonna do about that? Because that's your friend and she did that shit because of you. Instead of doing that, her response is, I'm so glad that we have all this drama behind us so we can go back together again. I'm just exhausted with all of the problems, and I just want to make sure that you and I are straight because I care about you. You. And what is his response to what has literally got to be the most understanding response to being hit by a car ever granted by a human being? His response is, you know, it's been some wild shit going on. I really think I need to spend some time by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really be involved with no girls right now. I can't really be involved with no crazy bitches right now. I really just got to do me. I got to do my thing. I need to travel a little bit, you know, maybe see some shit. I got to get the fuck up out of here for sure. So, like, this situation right here, this is cool and all, but, like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. And scoots the hell off. And this dizzy bitch who got hit by a car, so literally a dizzy bitch, spends the next year writing him emails every day talking about, I miss you. I wish you would write me back. Hit send. Next day, I miss you. Wish you would write me back. Hit send. Next day, I miss you. Wish you would write me back. Hit send. Not only that, but the bitch who pushed her in front of a car never catches hands. She's working her 9-to-5 job after her and old boy break up. And she's like, a business manager or whatever else. Good job. Makes money. One of her co-workers that she went to school with is dating the bitch who threw her in front of the car. That bitch walks into the lobby of their business establishment, whatever, to meet up with her boyfriend. I'm telling you this right now. She couldn't do it if it was me. She couldn't do it. She would have to live the rest of her life in fear. She would have to live the rest of her life in fear of running into me on the streets, in public, in places. She knew old girl worked there, but still decided to trump her ass up in there talking about, I'm here to see my boyfriend. I would have got fired that day. There would be video camera footage that would be on the internet showing me scrapping to the death because you tried to kill me. It's not that I'm fighting you over a man. I give a fuck about him. He's been gone at least a year. It would be you and me fighting because you tried to kill me when you pushed me in front of a car. You pushed me in front of a car.
Sorry.
What else is there to do? There's no talking. There's no, we just misunderstood each other. Like, sisterhood, girlfriend. We should have never been fighting over a dude. No, it is, you better hope that you never run into me. Because I keep a switchblade in my shoe. So that when I see you, I can kick this fucking shoe off and get to sticking. You better hope there are no glass bottles around. You better hope there's no chairs. I am going full WWE. Hurrah! Like, stab! Smash! Like, I'm doing real jail time. Real jail time. And when they ask me why I did it, my only answer would be, that bitch tried to kill me when she pushed me in front of a car. Why do you think I fucking did it? That'd be my only answer. That'd be my only answer. There's nothing else. There's nothing else I could say. I wouldn't have any other explanation except for that bitch pushed me in front of a car and tried to kill me. I need to get my revenge. So, yeah, man. So, yeah.
You can forgive someone for doing
That is the reason why I'm so worried about the ending of True Beauty. Because, like, Cheese in the Trap descended into fucking madness. It just became the most unrealistic scenario of all time. Couldn't be me. Absolutely couldn't be me. But yeah, I don't want them to fuck up True Beauty. True Beauty is cute. Like, that's the other thing too. Excuse me. I really like True Beauty. I don't think there's enough there for like an adequate television series plot line because even Alex will tell you, he's in the comments. It's a cute story. It's makeup and clothing brands. It's literally, the story is all about like, what cute outfit are they going to draw her in today? What cute outfit is he going to be wearing today? What brands are they going to like rename and try to pass it off as like an original brand in the webtoon? It is literally like, it's just a pretty webtoon. It doesn't really have a plot or a point. It doesn't. So how are you going to turn this into a show without adding a bunch of unnecessary bullshit that shouldn't be there? It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. News of Kihyun from Monster X and I think it's Bana from Cosmic Girls dating. Only thing I have to say is this. If it's true that they have been dating for 5 years, good for you, girl. I'm glad to see you holding it down for your man. If it's not true, that's unfortunate, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck because like we're all grown here. Do what you do. Be who you want to be with. It's not like she's pregnant. Not that there's anything wrong with getting pregnant, but I'm just saying it's not like she's pregnant. They're just dating. People are allowed to date. What the fuck? I heard some dating news out of China recently. I don't know anybody from China. Honestly, the only people I know in China are Chris Wu, Tao, and Yixing from EXO. That's really it. I don't know no Chinese stars. But there's this huge Chinese music TV singer star by the name of Shou Lao. I think it's his name, or Shou Lu. correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know his name. Anyway, he's been dating this one actress for 9 years. Already there's a problem. You heard that sentence, right? Dating for 9 years. Not married for 5, not dating 9 years ago, but have been married for the last 3, nothing like that. Dating an actress for 9 years. They recently broke up. They broke up because he could not keep his cock in his pants. He was a serial cheater the entire time. And it's just like, he met her when she was like 21, 22, and I think he was in his early 30s, late 20s at the time. And so she basically wasted her entire 20s, her youth, on his raggedy ass. And it's just like, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself.
If you
Quoting
don't want
Fantasia.
me, then don't talk to me.
You don't want me, then don't talk to me.
Go ahead and free yourself.
Go ahead and free yourself. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Anyway, yes. Like, wasted all of her 20s. Wasted all of her 20s when she could have been using that money to secure her billionaire. China's full of them. There are so many fucking billionaires in China. So many. Like, it's not even like America. We're like, oh, we got like 20 billionaires. No, ma'am. No, sir. China's got like a smooth 200 or 300 billionaires probably. Like, they got a ton of them. They got a whole bunch of them. She could have been spending her 20s securing her sugar daddy. She could have spent her 20s trying to find the one who would bankroll the rest of her life. But instead, she wasted her fucking time on you. And I'm sure you weren't treating her good when you was fucking around this whole time. Because in order for you to be able to fuck around so much, you got to be treating somebody bad. She's probably like, oh, I just got off the set and I'm so tired. But I haven't seen you in 3 weeks and I just really want to be around you because we're in the same city finally. He's like, oh, I'd love to, but I got a photo shoot in the morning and I can't be up all night long. I'll have bags in my eyes and people think I'm doing drugs. I'll have to meet up with you probably in another month or so when we finally are able to connect again. Meanwhile, it's probably a bitch laying in the bed while he's saying all this and he's like, bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. So he's probably been treating her shitty the whole time, but she's like, but he's so busy and people are looking at him and he's just doing the best he can because he's under so much scrutiny and his job is so stressful. Girl, your job is stressful too. Being a female star is so much more stressful than being a guy because guys can get away with bullshit. Top Min Kwan will be able to talk about this because she knows better than I do because she actually keeps up with Chinese stars. But there's like this one Chinese actor, singer, person who had like a scandal. I want to say it's been 20 years now, where it like turned out that he had basically been sleeping with all these young Chinese actresses and somebody had like leaked the nudes of all these girls. And like it was a big scandal for him in terms of like he was known as being like this really goody two shoes, clean cut, the kind of guy your mama wants you to take home type of guy. And it turns out like no, he was a mad whore. But the girls that he was fucking around with, it pretty much ruined their careers. Like people were like, we don't want her on our television screen because she's a hoe and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, he's like, I apologize, I'm young and I was like, I didn't know. I was just having fun and it's not my fault because being a celebrity corrupts and I'm gonna go home and spend some time with my grandparents and learn my lesson. And yeah, still popular. Not as popular as he was because he's older now and he was kind of like a teen heartthrobby star. But it's just like, the fuck is going on? Why are their careers ruined? He's the one hoeing around. All we know is that they dated him. We don't know about anybody else they were dating, but we know that he dated all of them. All of them. And so it's just like, why are y'all blaming them? He's the one out here hoeing around. So, it's a double standard. So for her to, try to understand him and be kind and understand that they can't meet up all the time and that his schedule is kind of above her own, for her to do that level of consideration for 9 fucking years to find out he's been sticking his dick in whatever is moist, like, she really deserves to stab him at least one time. Like, not kill him, but she should be allowed to, like, stab a knife through his hand. Like on some Indiana Jones type shit. Like, Russian roulette. And then like, I missed. I'm so sorry. So, yeah. That's some bullshit. Some bullshit. It's tough out here being a woman, y'all. Being a woman is not no fun. The shit's tough. people are not nice. People are not nice. And, they expect you to carry a lot. Like, you're expected to be kind of like a virgin and innocent and sweet and naive. But at the same time, once a man decides to make you his girlfriend, significant other, wife, whatever, all of a sudden you're supposed to be like a fucking freaking the sheets, being able to hang from the ceiling and touch your kneecaps to your tippy toes. Like, all this unnatural, incongruous stuff you're supposed to be all at the same time. And no one expects a man to do that. If a man is out here hoeing and you call him a hoe, it's no big deal. It's no big skin off his nose. He's allowed to go on. It's just a thing that boys do. And if you're not out here hoeing around, people suspect that you might be gay, which is even more problematic. Because why can't the guy just be nice? And if he is gay, oh, well, what the fuck? It's none of your business. Get the fuck out of here. And so, yeah, like, it's dating for 9 years was the first issue. Dating for literally, just like y'all said, 2-4 years max. Dating for 9 years is the first issue. There's nothing you could tell me that would make me believe that we need to be dating for 9 years. Around year 3, I'd be like, this shit is cool. What would be even cooler is a fucking rock on my hand. Give me a little ice. Let's decorate this shit right here. Let's plan a wedding. But 9 years? No. Even if you were like, I don't want to have kids until we're in our 30s. Both of us. Like, I can understand that. I can understand somebody saying, like, I love you. You are the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't think I'll ever meet anybody better than you. You make me a better person. I want to spend my life with you. But we are both in a very competitive industry, and I don't think it would be the best idea for us to have children right now. That is a totally legitimate request. That is totally legitimate. It's like, okay, I got you. When do you want to have kids? I'd like to wait until you're 30. Okay, cool. I think I can make that happen. These are discussions you should have before you get married, by the way. Before you get married. But yeah, that is understandable. Saying we're going to wait 9 years to have some kids makes sense. But dating, not marriage, dating for 9 years, fuck out of here. Because when we're dating, that means when I leave you, inevitably, because you fuck around too much, obviously, I don't get anything. All I get is the shit that you gave me during the time we were dating. And if you're paying the rent on my condo or whatever else, I don't even get to keep my fucking condo because you might decide to quit paying the rent. I don't come away from this with anything. At least if I married you and we divorced, I'm taking a share of something. Or I'm at least securing my current housing. I'm not looking to be like Adele's ex and talking about I need 90 million. Like, I'm not trying to live that kind of life. I'll be fair. Like, if you're super powerful and rich and mega bucks and everything else, I'm like, listen, the house that we live in currently, I'd like to stay in this bitch. Pay it off for me. Pay it off for me and give me like a little stipend, pay the taxes on this bitch. Let me stay here. That's all. I'm not asking for a lot. Let me keep my car. Let me keep my house and keep it moving. But when you're dating, there's no guarantees. And I just don't know how people can live that kind of a life. Adele giving up the kind of money she is. Again, Adele, you met this man after you came out with 21. It wasn't before. You met this man after. Why no prenup? You can't be that stupid. You can't be that stupid. You cannot be that stupid. You have to start asking these people to step up to the plate and do better by you. A lot of people will say, oh, it's shitty to ask for a prenup because it makes it seem like you think you're going to end in divorce. And so if you think that somebody's going to divorce you later on, you shouldn't marry them in the first place. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's not what that's about. The prenup is not about, I think we're going to split up one day. It's about, I trust you, but I trust God more. And I don't know what he's got in store for us. Something could happen and you might meet somebody who sweeps you off your feet. And it could be that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but something about them is magical. They're your literal soulmate. And if that happens, I don't want to keep you from it, but I'm not going to let you take my house away from me. That's for fucking sure. That's what a prenup is for. A prenup is also so if they get in some shit, you're not tied up for that. For instance, let's just say that Adele was not divorcing her husband because he was cheating on her. Let's say that Adele was divorcing her husband because he got caught up in like some embezzlement shit, and they were like, we're going to take all the assets of the couple because he's on the hook for swindling old ladies out of all their retirement money. Your prenup protects your financial assets. It makes it to where if he gets caught up in that bullshit, they're not going to take your money. Because you didn't have fuck all to do with that. Y'all maintain separate accounts. You can prove where your money came from. You already got it in your prenup that y'all don't have nothing to do with each other. You can't lay claim to your assets. Done and done. So prenups serve as a lot of different functions. Also, prenups can sometimes be your legal protection against outdated wills. So let's say that you have a spouse who is an older spouse and they drafted a will based on a time in their lives when they did not have a new wife or new children. And so you marry them and you don't have a prenup and they forget to change their will and they suddenly die out of the blue. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Henry's gone. The will says, for my wife, Griselda, and my one son, Henry Jr., and your name is Bethany, and your son's name is Rollo. Y'all aren't mentioning that will at all. Griselda and Henry Jr. are going to come up in your house and tell you, bitch, get out, this is mine. A prenup, you can sometimes put in and be like, hey, I realize his will is outdated. I have a new legal form that says this is the most governing legal document, and I would like my wife and my new son to be provided for in this way. That's what the fuck that stuff is for. Because if you got to take it to court, you can easily argue the will was drafted at a time before he even knew Bethany, and so he meant to take care of them because his prenup takes care of them. So there's a lot of reasons to get prenups. Man, if you got left by your husband because you're a lesbian, that's wrong. But at the same time, you got to be a fucking detective. Be like, what's in that reflection? Ooh, I recognize that girl. Mm-hmm.
What?
Apparently, some Chinese actress, her fans like zoomed into the reflection on her sunglasses and saw that she was reading a Girls Love cartoon. Like, and that's why your husband left you, because you like the coochie. And so it's like, that sucks that people are intrusive on your private life, but also immaculate taste. But yeah.
What do you mean immaculate taste?
Because, I mean, if you're going to pick one to read, always go for the boys' love or the girls' love. The straight manuals are boring, unless it's True Beauty. True Beauty is fun because it's drawn fun. But yeah.
Oh yeah, the scenes where she doesn't have makeup on and she's like,
I know, they're always funny. It's actually funny. True Beauty is funny. The plot means nothing, but it's actually a very funny webtoon. Anything else I need to talk about? I'm sure I'm missing something.
Let's talk about why is everyone getting canceled every other day?
I didn't want to talk about this because I like to keep it cute. Okay, so Twitter, every single day is a somebody's over party. And apparently these somebody's over party are basically an excuse for fan cams to get on the timeline. Which, I mean, I always look at it and then like about 3 tweets in, if I don't see anything substantive, I don't look at anything past that. So if you think that being a part of the such and such is over hashtag is going to get you a whole bunch of people looking at your fan cam, you are sorely mistaken, because I think most people do the same thing I do. I get about 3 deep, and if nobody's talking about nothing, then there ain't nothing to look at, and I keep it moving. But apparently somebody started like the K-pop is over party and, you know, all this other stuff. And it's just like, first of all, it's not even really K-pop fans who are like invested in fan cam culture. It's more people who love to troll. Like, there are trolls out here who have K-pop accounts that give a fuck about K-pop. They just like to be able to respond to people's tweets with fan cams because they know it makes people mad. But at the same time, even if it is a K-pop fan and they respond to you with a fucking fan cam, I'm sorry, maybe it's because I'm 40 years old and things don't upset me that are that fucking trivial. I just don't care. Like, seriously. I'm like, scroll. I don't care. I do not care.
The thing
But
that
also,
disappointed me.
I am a small Twitter account too, and I don't get as many replies. Whereas if I was like Sumpy or the Soul Story or Omes, I probably would be fucking annoyed at fan cams because sometimes they'll be doing like stories about something really deep, like, you know, such and such from this group was admitted to the hospital. And people be like, if only they had stand Luna, and then it'll be a fan cam. And it's like, this is not the time nor the place. Get the fuck out of here.
The only cancel party that disappointed me was the Bretman Rock one, because I actually liked Bretman Rock fairly decently.
I don't know him.
And I mean,
I don't know his people.
The video came from like 2014, so I guess you could say he's changed from then.
I don't know. I don't know him.
At this point,
I have never
really
seen
know.
that man.
Bretman Rock, okay, you don't know that video that's like, they burnt my hair trying to do the experiment with the bubbles, and he lit the bubbles on fire, and he almost burned up his kitchen?
No.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry to that man. I don't know that man. But yeah, I mean, it's just all the over parties are usually pretty dumb. Because if it's a legitimate over party, usually within about 3 tweets, somebody will be like, and this is why I never liked his ass in the first place. And then it'll show you what it's about. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I'm done with those. So is anybody going to be... I was about to have Simply do the same. I hope so. Is anybody going to be watching the Super M concert this weekend? I'm not. It's not because I don't like Super M. It's because I don't understand why I would pay for something like that. It's a DVD. I mean, if Big Hit is giving out DVD performances for free, why would I pay for a Super M performance? I mean, I heard they're going to be reading stuff off the live stream, but like, come on. If the amount of people watching is who they think are going to watch, if they even hit 1 million, there's no fucking way that people are going to be able to put stuff in the chat and have a realistic idea that Super M's going to read it. Like, it's not happening. It's not happening. So it's like, again, what's the point? I'll watch somebody's bootleg. Somebody's going to have a bootleg link for us and we'll watch it then. Yes, you do have to pay. Yes, you do have to pay. You have to pay because they're going to be interacting with you, and that's why you're paying. Also, I have not heard about what the playlist is going to be. I need somebody to like run that playlist by me, the set list one time, because if we're not getting Playboy with Taemin and Kai, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm not paying to hear unreleased tracks from Super M. I'm not going to pay to watch the same shit I saw in person. No. Like, I'm sorry. You misunderstood our relationship here. So, yeah, if we're not talking about Playboy and some of this other stuff, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The only girls you can get me with is Red Velvet. Like, if you told me, like, we're going to do Red Velvet, I probably would. Like, if they said that, you know, we're going to do the Rouge, but we've professionally filmed it and you guys can stream it, you have to pay for it, but you can stream it, I probably would do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably would, because I'm kind of a sucker for Red Velvet. Also, if they're like, for the first time ever with the permission of his estate, we're going to be broadcasting Jungkook's last concert that we filmed on like HD camera film, I'd be like, yes. Where do I make this deposit? You said 100? Cool. Where? Night. But yeah. Can we talk about the duo? We did talk about the duo. So they will send out a link for people to watch it for. Yes. I know that Stephanie, the lady I met at Burger King, I know that she was going to buy the concert and stream it on Twitch. And I think like SM found out and they were like, girl, no, if you thought, you thought. And so it's hard to do it on the low. Like, if you have a group of friends that you trust and like are super fans, you might could get your homegirls together and be like, hey, how about we all get in a Zoom room and one of us will buy it, we'll all chip in a little bit of money and we'll all watch it together. Like, that would be worth it. That would be worth it. But in terms of like buying it just to watch it on my own with me and Stephanie, no, absolutely not. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Also, answer me this question. Going back to what I was saying about Bang Bang Con and about how they need to repackage these concerts, can you go on Weverse or WePly or any of the shops that Big Hit has for you to buy shit? And can you do a digital download of these concerts? I haven't checked to look, but some of y'all are armies and you know what's happening, so you can inform me now before I waste my fucking time. But if I wanted to download these things, can I do it? Or do I have to, like, if I wanted to see the Red Bullet, can I go on Big Hit shops and watch the Red Bullet with a digital download?
Huh? Digital download to what?
The Red Bullet.
What's the Red Bullet?
It's a concert.
Oh.
See, sis, you have to stay in the conversation. I want to be a part of the conversation.
I'm sorry, I was talking to friends.
That's cool. It's cool. I'm glad you got friends. So, yeah. Again, a missed opportunity. Why would you show people these concerts and be like, and you cannot access them anywhere? They're not for sale anywhere. Like, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. Especially if I want to give you money. If I want to give you money for this, why won't you let me? Why don't you like this money? What is it about money you don't like? Tell me, what is it about money you don't like? Is money ugly? I'm telling you. Like, there is a whole setup that could be done, guys. The Bang Bang Con branded DVDs. Then they could sell Bang Bang Con shirts. They'd be like, I attended Bang Bang Con. Where were you, bitch? On my couch. Like, there's so many things you could be doing, and y'all ain't doing it. And I feel like you need to reevaluate that, sis. You need to go back and figure out what you did wrong. Especially because if you rebox those DVDs and you were telling people, like, have your light stick at the house and it'll change colors and stuff. If you sell the new DVDs with the light stick prompt so that it goes on automatically, a lot of people would pay for that, girl. Like, money, real money. Money for a property that's not currently making you any money. But that's the other thing. Like, what is the point of having all these concerts in the archives, professionally filmed, professionally mixed and sound mastered, and then after you do the first run of DVDs, you don't make no more money off of this footage anymore? That's dumb. That's dumb. Right? I'm loving Davida. I like Davida okay. A lot of us were sad that it wasn't Ehi. We were like, oh man, if Ehi joins AOMG, it's going to be so great. But, you know, it is what it is. I really wish that Dean had his own label. Not that he would be a good CEO. I think he'd be a terrible CEO because he's very much like into himself. Very much so. Like, Dean would be a terrible CEO because he would spend all his time finding ways to keep himself from releasing music. Because that's his personality. But I think on the other hand, he would be a cool CEO because he also would be like, I'm on that hippy dippy shit. And so whatever you want to do, whenever you're ready to do it, fuck it, let's do it. Like, that would be his MO. He'd be like, hey guys, welcome to our latest yoga breathing technique seminar. You know, the vibes feel strong in the room. I feel a little extra energy coming from that corner. Open up your chakras. Tell me what's going on. How can I bring you into enlightenment? Thanks. Hi, Lehigh. First time joining the club. How are you? We don't go by names here. We go by energies. So you're Lavender Blossom. Lavender Blossom, tell us what's on your mind. Where's the energy coming from? Well, my energy might be Lavender Blossom because I'm really excited to be here. But also because I have been recording some things and I was wondering, is it okay if I release it to the public? Can I get some backing, a little money, maybe a PR budget, marketing budget? Yes, my child, of course you can. Do you need any assistance from anyone in the room? Can some of us pray over you? Can I have Guru Chakra make you some tea? Or do you maybe just need us to get these singing bowls and put them out to just align everything for you and make sure the vibe is strong? No. The promise of money is enough. Just give me the money. I will take care of everything. Blessed be. I'll see you later. Anybody else down for Tantric Hour? Let's go. Like, I could totally see that being the way that Dean would run a record label. Like, it would be utter chaos. It would be utter chaos. They would have like people in charge of random shit, like, you know, the master gerbil feeder, but no one would be in charge of like the real economic impact of things. But somehow or another, they would make money because they would just release shit all the time, just whenever anybody was in the mood. But yeah, I totally could see that being what's going on with them. It would be a mess, but she would be guaranteed releases for sure. Ugh. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything else to talk. Oh, I know what I forgot to mention when I was talking about the Gachi girl group. Apparently, they're on the same record label as Ollie London. I have so many questions about that. Like, I have real questions, not fake questions. Like, real, legitimate questions about that. So, Ollie London is not a singer. I don't care that he's got songs. He's not a singer. Not a singer. He somehow or another has the money to completely assassinate his face. Like, just make it into something that is the stuff of nightmares. I want to know where the money is coming from. Like, what mobster, gangster, crime family is backing all of this up? So, like, I really need to know that. I would really need to know that because I feel like it's a conspiracy. I feel like there's something going on in the background that needs to be found out, and I need somebody to tell me about it. Because as far as I can tell, he doesn't seem to have any marketable skill. It doesn't seem like he does anything all day long. So I don't feel like he's making his own money. If he is fucking somebody for money, get it, sis. But if this is like some nefarious shit and they've conned these other wannabe Korean girls into doing this, I have questions. I have questions about how I can get a budget, how I can get some production, how I can do some things. Is it about just being willing to be as shameless as possible? Like, what's the tea? What's going on here? What is the end game for all this? Like, I would love. Okay, so Ollie London has been parading around this Michael Jackson discount face for many a moon and has been claiming it's because he wants to like Jimin from BTS, even though not at any point in the surgery game has he ever looked anything close to Jimin from BTS. So, my question is, what is in game? Like, is it just getting Jimin's face, which could easily be accomplished by kidnapping him, throwing him into a hole, and telling him to put the lotion on his skin again, or else he gets the hose? But, I mean, seriously, if you got that face, if you somehow or another, miracle of miracles, got that face, then what? If you love Jimin, if he's your fave, are you trying to get his face so you can take his fame, so you can replace him? Or is this like a single white female type of thing? Like, I will become you? Like, what is the end goal here? Even if you got his face, are you hoping that people on the street will mistake you for him? Is it a money making thing? Like, if I get his face, I can like sell myself to different companies and they would pay me thinking they're paying for Jimin? Like, seriously, what is end goal here? I really would like to know because I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I want to get it. I want to get it because I don't want it to seem as nefarious as it kind of reads right now. Because right now, that shit reads like scary, scary. And yeah, I would like to know like what's really happening. What's really going on. But you know, there's so much strangeness in the world, y'all. And I've just gotten to the point where I try really hard to quit being as judgmental as I am because I am judgmental, bitch. I am super judgmental. But I'm really hoping to quit being that way because I think we could all use a little more kindness. This whole quarantine thing has been rough. We could all use a little bit more kindness. But yeah, I would like to know. Like, there's this one guy, and he marketed himself as like a living Ken doll or whatever. I forget, but it was a Spanish guy. and I say that like literally from Spain, Spanish guy, who kept getting surgeries to look like a Ken doll. And very recently, he decided that he doesn't want to look like a Ken doll because he's actually Barbie. And now he is using her, she pronouns. And he's changed, she has changed her appearance completely. I have so many questions. And the questions are not like, why would you do that to yourself? It's like, how far out did you get before you realized you need to go in a totally different, you need to make that U-turn? And how much is your body suffering from going so far before making this U-turn? Because the guy I'm talking about, they did a Barcroft documentary on him, I think, and the girl, sorry, again, pronouns matter. Um, the woman I'm talking about, back when she identified as he, did a Barcroft documentary getting 4 of their ribs removed as part of their body modification. 4 human ribs, parts of rib cages, 4 ribs removed in order to do these modifications. Now, I am not a doctor. I don't know things about physiology, and so I can't say that I know how these ribs function and how you can live without them. But I will say this: God don't make you with a whole bunch of extra parts. There may be some things where your mind doesn't sync up with your physical, but most people don't have too many extra parts. So I can't imagine that you have those 4 supporting ribs for no reason. They probably serve a purpose. And you might be fucking yourself up for the long range not having them ribs. Like, this could be the start of some degeneration of spinal support. This could be some start of some, lack of abdominal support. Like, there could be some real long lasting effects from doing something like this. So I mean, I have to wonder, like, yeah, how far did you get towards the whole Ken doll thing before you realize I really shouldn't have even been headed in this direction in the first place? And also, who is funding this? Seriously, again, because this is a person who literally all I've ever seen on the internet is them showing their ass, showing their plastic surgeries. No discernible job in sight. Oh, somebody said, what doctor would approve that? Let me tell you something. Doctors ain't what you think they are. There's a lot of mythology and kind of hero worship placed on doctors. For the doctors that are out here treating COVID patients and doing the right thing, I commend you, because you're definitely doing something I would never want to do. But I also commend people working in the grocery stores, the people who are collecting our garbage, the people who are at shitty ass jobs that they would love to not be at, but they've got to pay their rent to be there anyway, and they're considered essential workers. I applaud you for everything you're doing. But there are a lot of doctors who are fucking dirtbags. There are a lot of doctors who abuse their patients. There are a lot of doctors who are self-aggrandizing and say a lot of bad shit that puts a lot of people in danger. You have Dr. Oz, who's a fucking quack, who's like, we need to get back to having people in schools and shit. People will die, but oh well. Like, there are a lot of doctors who do not live by their oaths. A lot of doctors who are in this shit for the money and could give a damn about patient health. And there's a lot of doctors who are just like anybody else. Just like you can't say a fandom is a certain way, you can't say idols are a certain way. Just like you can't stereotype any particular group, you can't stereotype doctors. There's a lot of shitty ass fucking doctors. There's doctors who have put their patients under anesthesia and then raped them. There are doctors who have made mistakes while performing surgery on people because they were drunk or high. There are a lot of bad doctors out there. And so, yeah, there's a doctor who said, oh, you don't need them extra ribs? I'll take them out for you. And had no problem doing it because it was money, baby, money. So, my mom's a nurse. And me talking bad about doctors, I respect medical workers because my mom has been a nurse my entire life. She graduated from nursing school while she was pregnant with me. So she's been a nurse my entire life. And she works hard and she is compassionate and she spends her entire life dedicated to making sure that people live their last days in comfort and in the best health they can, because my mom has worked as a nursing home nurse practically my entire life. She had a couple of years where she worked in oh, physical therapy, but she then did mental health and then went right back to nursing. So my mom is dealing with people living in their last days. And my mom has been a consummate professional. And I know that her showing up at work in this climate as a 65-year-old woman, part of the vulnerable group, but showing up to work every day to help older people who are much sicker than her and that need her help. My mother is a saint. I'll never have any slander placed on her name. But she works with some doctors who are telling nurses to stand by a patient's bedside and FaceTime because they won't expose themselves to the virus. But they'll let the nurses expose themselves to the virus. So, yeah. I love the doctors who care, the doctors who don't give a shit. It is what it is. I mean, even Fox News asked Dr. Phil his opinion. Dr. Phil ain't even no real fucking doctor. Get the fuck out of here. Dr. Phil ain't no medical doctor. Dr. Phil is not a medical doctor. He's not called Dr. Phil because he performs operations and gives tetanus shots. He's not even a real doctor. Why the fuck would you ask Dr. Phil about medical advice? Who the fuck is he? My daughter is watching my live on her cell phone. This is bizarre. But anyway, I have talked now for 2 hours and I plan to leave this live up, so it is what it is. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for waiting for me to get back up on this live. Also, I'm going to go back after this live is over and add a link to the description box because I never put anything in the description box when I do my lives. But Mason and I have a show on his channel. Mason's channel is MBKpop1997. Can you please turn it down? Thank you. Mason and I have a show on his channel, MBKpop1997, and it is a show where we talk about boys love. So if you like boys love, please check out our show. We did our first episode this past weekend where we talked about End of Love to Asara, and we will be talking about more stuff. And so please watch because we're going to be talking about Why Are You, which is a really big deal in boys love right now, and we have thoughts and opinions. So please watch us there and support us as we try something brand new, especially support Mason because it took a lot for him to be brave enough to do this with me. And so I'd love for people to give positive feedback and show that it was a risk worth taking. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching and supporting and hanging out with me tonight. We had a good time, and I hope that you'll have a good time with me both today and in the future. And I don't know, if you are down for some other stuff, if you want to see some different content from my channel, please let me know. I have a couple of things coming in the mail from Yes Asia, so I will be doing an unboxing for the first time in forever in probably about 3 weeks because it just shipped recently. But I bought some K-hip hop stuff, and that's cool. I bought Code Kunst's new album. I bought Dawn's Pandora. I finally bought George's E album. I should have bought it a long time ago, but I hadn't. But I also bought some stuff that is not K-pop. I bought a History Make Our Days Count photo book. And I also bought a Scrub CD. So, yeah. I'll be doing some unboxings in a few weeks. Look forward to seeing that. It's fun shit. And support... Fuck, what's the name of the show? What's the name of the show?
Engineer?
No. I cannot.
Together?
No, you don't know the name of the show. I don't know why I asked you. That was a wrong call on my part. It's not your fault. It's me. I should never have asked you because you wouldn't know.
Wow.
No. It's you wouldn't know because I didn't talk about this with you. So why would you know? Because I didn't talk about it with you. I'm gonna try to find it because I need to. Oh, that's where I can find it at. Awesome. Okay, Mnet is launching a show called Good Girl. We all have to watch it. As a family, we have to watch it. I don't know what the link will be. I don't know how we'll watch it together. But as a family, put it on your radar. Mnet has a show called Good Girl, and we all have to watch it. All of us have to watch it. Let me tell you the description of the show. The show is Mnet to launch new reality show, Good Girl. Female hip-hop and R&B artists that varies from underground artists, idol, or even top stars will unite as a team to complete music project /quest. as a family, we have to watch this. Much like as a family, we had to talk about Queendom. As a family, we have to watch Good Girl. Or I like to say Good Girl. I like to call it that because I always think about the song with Ehai and Sohyun from Akdam. So yeah, whenever I hear the phrase "good girl," it's "good girl." That just my mind makes those associations. It's supposed to air the 14th of May, 2020. So you have time to prepare yourself. We don't know who we're getting right now. They haven't given us a contestant list. But as a family who prays together, we need to sit down at the table and watch this as a family. It is for us. This is our time. Also, we'll all be watching Road to Kingdom as that comes out as well, because I'm trying to figure out who the new boys are. I think I might like the boys. I don't know them, but every once in a while somebody will throw a song my way and I'm like, that sounds pretty good. I kind of like that. That's cute. And so I think I might like the boys. So we have to watch Road to Kingdom because I have to figure out who they are and if it's worth standing. But yes, got to watch. Got to watch. We have got to watch. Cannot wait. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later. Moo.
You said